10-12 minutes with Gemma. And then obviously we'll be doing some post-match tomorrow, pitch side, and we'll syndicate something as well, post-match for you all to use.
Great, thank you.
So Michael, do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. Morning, Gemma.
Morning.
What are the chances of me getting you to admit that these are not just two qualifiers, match day 9 and match day 10, and that this is bigger and huge? What's at the end of it?
Not very high. Not very high at all. I think you know the mentality that we've had. I remember sitting here with you last September and people saying, must get 6 points in these two games. And I think it's been very clear on what we wanted to do from that first camp. It's exactly the same. I think for me, it must sound boring to you that I'm game 9 and game 10, but that's the language that we're using in this team, and it's consistent for us.
You've gone step by step. You're at step 9. Are you where you want to be in the group?
Yeah, absolutely. We our focus is on Greece. The conversation we had on day 1 was about very much Greece up until that point, and then we'll flip to Slovenia. I think there's a danger that people can start to look ahead at this point. I think that is the danger. People talking to me about playoffs, and I'm like, yes, the playoffs exist. We're currently not in the playoffs, but that's where our ambitions have always lied. So in terms of us, we know what the target is. However, it is very much our focus on tomorrow evening.
What would it mean to finish second, and how much is there an element of frustration that it's so much harder to qualify for a World Cup from Europe than from any other part of the world?
Yeah, we know the facts. So we know that 11 teams qualify for the World Cup. We know that we're ranked 19th in Europe. So we know, and we're very clear on the facts. But one of the things we do know is that the mentality and culture that we're building in this team is about us qualifying for major tournaments consistently. So yes, these games, Greece, Slovenia, are huge for us, but what is more important for us is delivering in these games, making sure that we deliver to the standards that we've seen in this campaign. And we know if we do that, then the results will take care of itself.
And do you feel like you've got quite a tried and trusted method for taking this team to difficult away games and getting the result you need?
Yeah, we've learnt from every single game in this campaign. When we think about what we need to do, we know what we need to do in terms of preparation and delivery. The team are very focused on delivering a game plan. So today will be the final preparation for that. We plan to travel well and then deliver the game in the best possible way to set ourselves up for the second game.
Since you've taken over with friendly games, you've tried to make every time you lead a Wales team the most competitive it can possibly be. Hardest challenges is what you're after. You're looking forward to 2 games where, on paper at least, you'll be the favourite, and you're that team, that aspiring team.
Yeah, I wouldn't say we think like that. I think we think very differently. So we respect every opposition we play. There are no easy games in international football. I've been an international coach now for 12 years, and I know that every team poses a problem, whether that is, they play in a lower block or they're a higher ranked team or a lower ranked team. It doesn't really kind of come into my mind. However, it's the challenge, and what we focus on is, first of all, how can we deliver? But second of all, how can we exploit the weaknesses that we see in the opposition? So we'll prepare to do that.
Is everyone fit and available as reported?
Touch wood, yes, everyone is. The squad has trained well this week. We knew this window is a little bit earlier than the last September window, and those 2 weeks we planned for that. We know the girls have had a great pre-season, although a lot of them have not played any league games yet. So from a physical point of view, our team here, our performance team, have done a fantastic job. Obviously, Jess is the one who is in season, so we planned for that in the same way. Managed to get Jess back a little bit earlier this time, which was nice in terms of that whole squad preparation.
Are you happy with where your squad's at? Because there's been obviously loads of movement. A lot of players have transferred looking for more game time, but it seems to have all worked out.
Yeah, we're in a great spot. The players have made some strong decisions for their development, ultimately with a target of playing games, because they know if they're playing at club level, they're performing at club level, then that puts the national team in a great place.
Huge game coming up obviously on Friday. You've got to get through it to have everything as you want it in the second game, but the second game, there's just so much to be excited about, obviously, not least the crowd.
Yeah, I think that once we get to that point, there is so much to be excited about. We look at one of the things that we've been focused on as a team is why we do what we do. We're seeing the numbers that were, coming to the game, the Slovenia game. We've talked all week about wanting to make sure that game, Slovenia feel like they're away from home, feel like they are the away team. That's probably the most exciting thing, what the fans will do for us on that, in that game. We seen a video yesterday of fans travelling out to Greece. So although we're away from home, we know what it means to people, and why we do what we do is to inspire. And we feel like that's a huge part of our identity as a team. Of course, everyone wants us to qualify, but actually what we're doing from inspiration, what this team have done in this campaign, that absolutely drives us even more.
Keep the focus on the Greece game. Is that almost as exciting as the 10,000? Because let's be honest, last campaign, if you had away fans going to a foreign game, it was because they were related to the players, probably.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that the growth of the fan base, I also know I met a group of fans who believe have rented out one of Bale's bar to go to the game. So, just little things like that we know our fans are here supporting us, they're away supporting us. So to have that support does mean a lot to us.
Can I just ask one on Angharad and Rhiannon, because I know we'll focus more on them after the first game, but obviously two potential milestones. Angharad's particularly incredible because obviously she's 28.
Yeah, it is incredible. I mean, for any international player to get a cap, never mind, the caps that these players are getting is very special. So we always appreciate, I feel like every camp that we're on currently, we're reaching a milestone of some player, which I think shows the dedication. I think it shows the commitment. What it means to play for Wales, for these players, absolutely is their number one priority, which we don't say too loudly in front of the clubs. However, what it means to them, the commitment that takes to be at that level consistently, as well as making sure that, at a club level they're performing, and then they step into this environment. It really is, a privilege to work with all the players, and I know we've got those milestones coming up, so we can talk about that a little bit more.
Thank you, Gemma.
Thank you, Jack.
Gemma, so many of the players have spoken about just how relaxed this camp is, considering what's at stake. As coach, as the manager, what steps have you put in place, considering a lot of these players wouldn't have felt this kind of pressure before?
Yeah, I think that probably the key thing is that we don't see it as pressure. If we want to be a team that goes to tournaments consistently, these are the games that we want to play in and tick off on the way. So, like I said, it is about Greece and Slovenia, the respect we have for them, and what we want to do when we play against them. They're two, things that we focus on hugely. So we want to be a team that is in tournaments consistently. We watch the European Championships in the summer. That makes us want to be. We see the teams that we've played, looking at France, watching Belgium, knowing that we compete with these teams. So these games are really exciting for us. It's not pressure, it's not nerves. It's exciting because we're preparing for this. The players are working hard day in, day out to step on the pitch to show everybody, what they do, why we do it, who we do it for. So it's actually really exciting.
And when you look back at this campaign, obviously still 2 games to go, but when you think back to that first game against Kazakhstan, just how proud are you of the growth of this team and that they've really taken to the style of football that you wanted to play from day one?
Yeah, it's they're a credit to, we wanted to make sure that these girls felt like they could express themselves, but within a structure. So we knew we had foundations from a defensive point of view, but from an in-possession point of view, the quality that we have in this team, for them to be able to express themselves is what we focused on. So the players should take real credit for that. They are able to express themselves. We have some incredible players in the team. We've focused on that depth as well. So not only the starting players, how do we get a depth? Because we know that when we do play in tournaments, that depth is going to be important for us. So from an in-possession point of view, we're going to continue to develop. You'll see that in the game tomorrow night, I know, because we want to express ourselves. We want to leave the pitch knowing that we've done everything that we wanted to do. And that consistency is what we're striving for.
Diolch, Gemma.
Diolch.
Okay, we've got 3 minutes left, so Megan.
One quick one. Last week we talked about being brave, and that's sort of the goal of yours. Going into Greece specifically, what is your definition of brave for this game?
Yeah, brave for us is making sure that we deliver what we've planned to deliver. So this week we have prepared the game plan, we've trained the game plan, we know how we want to be in terms of our mentality, and that's the measure. When we focus and we have a phrase around being better at being us, that's always the measure. So it never will be about Greece, it never will be about Slovenia. It will be, have we left the pitch and have we delivered to our standards at half time? That's what we talk about. So it's a real focus and it's a real clarity from all of us that we know what we want to do. Every single player is prepared to deliver in this game, and when we come off the pitch, that's the sign of being brave. It's, did we do what we planned to do, and did we do that to the level we wanted to?
And last one, you talked about the girls making decisions to go out and get consistent game time. Did they talk to you about that, making that decision? So Angharad, when she decided that she was going to move from the US and go back to Spurs, was that a decision that you got to be kind of privy in?
Yeah, for sure. We have constant dialogue. For me, my relationship with their club managers is key, because we want to get the best out of them. The player sits in the middle, and you know, for me as a national team manager, I have my priorities, but I know what the club manager priorities are. So for our players to be happy is my number one priority. So whenever I speak to a player, I'll never tell them where to go, but I'm always there to support them, ask the right questions to provoke thoughts so that we can get, you know, them in the right place. Thank you, Dirk.
And just very, very quickly, sorry.
Just one each, if that's okay.
Yeah, of course.
Thanks.
Of course, noting that the campaign hasn't finished just yet, but I wonder what's pleased you the most about this campaign so far? What's been your favourite part of it?
What's pleased me the most is the progression game from game. So how we have utilised the campaign games, but how we've utilised the windows in between as well, because we've challenged ourselves consistently. So what's pleased me is the progression game by game, the things that we've taken from the games. We want to learn quickly from everything. So every single game, when we've played a team once, then when we've played them again, we've progressed, and that's the plan in these two games. We look at what we did in the first game. We're a different team to when we played both of these teams last time. The games will be very different as well. I don't think there's going to be any snow in Greece tomorrow evening. So we all remember that game, and we all remember, I guess, the parts to that game that we did well. So we want to build on that, and that's pleasing me and the players the most, that we continue to move forward in the direction that we want to.
And just quickly, sorry, on that point though, with regards to the game internationally, obviously it was a big result for yourselves. Does that mean that Greece are going to come with a point to prove in this game?
I think Greece will want to prepare to deliver in front of, you know, they're at home. It's their home game. It's a big game for them. Like you said, the campaign's coming to an end. They still mathematically could qualify. So whatever their approach is, you know, I think they will want to, you know, make sure they perform in this game. I'm sure, you know, they'll remember the game. They'll look back at the game in Llanelli and want to make sure that they are better. But we will also make sure that we're better as well.
Just one question about the heat. You played New Zealand out in Pinata in June. How much will that help going into this game especially?
Yeah, that wasn't part of the plan in terms of to prepare for the heat. However, I think that the British summer that we've had has kind of helped us. You know, I spoke to a player this morning. One of their parents is in Greece currently, and they were telling me what the temperature is, and I kind of said to the player, I think it was warmer in your club at pre-season, and they were like, yes, it was. So the girls have been through a pretty hot pre-season. But to be completely honest, in a one-off game, the heat really won't come into their mind, I doubt. You know, we'll have the cooling strategies. We have a world-class performance team who will make sure that we have everything in place. But I really don't think with this team that their mentality and focus, I think it could be anything. And I think we've seen that with the snow. You know, there was one team that absolutely delivered that evening, and these girls will do that whatever the conditions are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.
We're going
Thank
to
you.
head to
Yeah.
training. So 11:10.